have a motion on the floor concerning the retirement of Lonnie Myers, effective June 3rd, 2025. Do I have a second?
Second, Mayor Brandon.
Thank you, Mary.
Everybody else sleep?
Do I have any discussion other than the fact to thank, go ahead, you can do it.
Yep, we'd like to thank Mr. Myers for his over 20 years of dedicated service to the district as a teacher. I'd like to thank Mr. Myers as a teacher that had a special influence on my life and career, as Mr. Myers was actually the person that got me involved with baseball umpiring and sports officiating, and it's something that I still do to this day at the high school levels. And I have Mr. Myers to thank for helping put me on that track. So he will be greatly missed and thank you for his service.
I've got a motion, I've got a comment. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
In the form of a motion, recommend approval of a contract with Elevate Mind LLC for substitute staffing for maternity leave coverage.
I have a motion on the floor for the recommended approval of contract for Elevated Minds. Do I have a second?
Second, Mayor Brandon.
Sounds enthusiastic, Jim. Comment. Does anybody have any comment?
I wanted to ask a question on it. Is this just something we're doing for a strict purpose? Because I read the contract, and I know it says for paternity leave. Are we expecting that, or are we just doing it just in case?
We're doing for maternity leave.
Okay, okay.
My comment is $715 a day. That's $215 more than we pay the superintendent substitute.
For negotiating?
I won't be so brash to say that. I would say that I find that very expensive and mental health, and I understand it. But that's boils down to $128,700 a year. That's a lot of money.
Correct.
And especially $11,440 for 16 days. I wish I got paid that much. And no, you wish you got paid that much.
Did we look for other?
Do we have other avenues?
If I may, it's for a licensed therapist. Our students are currently seeing a licensed therapist, so it's not just a teacher cert or counselor cert, it's a licensed therapist that works with these students. And she currently sees 38 students, so I pared it down to the highest need, which is about 20, to be seen every week. Otherwise, these students will be in the counselor's office taking up their day. So that's what this is for.
Help me out here a little, just spoon feeding the fact that there's not a whole lot of these substitute services out there or something.
No, because this doesn't go through Kelly Services, it does not have licensed mental health therapists.
Yeah,
It's a special experience.
It's very special.
Did we get any other quotes from any other contractors?
I did not. This is just one that is easily accessible, or that I know that has people that can come in that have worked with our students before, that know our system, that are familiar with Littlestown, that will make it a smooth transition for our students.
When do we need to have this in place by? When is it expected to be the first week out?
February, I think it's the first week of February, and then they would spend one day at the high school, half day at the middle school, half day at the elementary school. So it would be 2 days a week.
Would it be an option to table it to the next meeting to see if we can solicit some other bids?
It could, we could wait until the next and see what we get. That's not a problem. As long as the expectation meets the deadline. Sometimes with pregnancies they go early. But yes, we could.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword. It's like you dang if you do, and dang if you don't. That's not the way this goes.
But you're right, Carl, that is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but I had a hard time with it because I unfortunately started out doing the math wrong, going, it's $11,440 for 2 days. I'm like, Wait a second. I read it wrong. Maryland education, sorry. But, yeah, I don't think you're gonna get a whole lot of, you know,
Is this one specific person, or is it a variety of
It's a
people that you
company.
can choose from?
It's a service, it's a therapist's office.
Right, okay.
That can
But they're
help
not all-
out
they're
and
not all
have somebody who
certified,
can
are they?
support our students.
Are they all certified?
She's gonna have a licensed therapist for us.
The contract requires a licensed therapist.
Yes.
I just want to make sure that you
Yes.
And then, yeah.
Yes.
Is it the only, are they only basic, I think, regional specialists? Are they giving us one person that's gonna be ours, or are they giving
No,
us?
it would be the same person, because we wouldn't have to do different counselors every week. It would be the same person, yes.
And currently, Dr. Fiaschi, we had the mental health therapist has, you said 39?
38.
38, okay. That she sees any day, every day during the week, 5 days a week. And what we've done here to be able to offset is to take just the most needy, the most intensive
Yes.
need of our students.
Yes, I mean, our
so that we
counselors
can
are gonna
give them
pick up every other week, and our psychologists and everybody else will pick up, but these are the most needy.
So we're triaging.
Yes, very much so.
This contract reads it's 2 days per week. And it reads the amount of money. The expectation is only 8 weeks maternity leave, so it's not a full year.
No, it's just for the weeks.
Correct.
Yes.
Is that the 11,440 figure?
For, yes, for 8 weeks, yes.
So we would be approving this company for that exact amount, number one.
no.
I'll do this and see what we land on. I'll get permission to table this to the January meeting. And ask the administration to receive other bids and see if we have other options. For the equivalent service at lesser rates.
I'll second one.
All in favor of tabling the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Vote.
Under personnel report, under curriculum, co-curriculum and policy, item A is for discussion only. If there's any discussion. Otherwise, recommend, for the motion, recommend approval of board policies and procedures 201, 202, 203, 203.1, 830.1, and 801.
A motion on the floor to recommend approval of the four policies, 201, 202, 203, 203.1, 830.1, and 801. Do I have a second? Do I have any discussion?
Yes, I have some. On policy 801, I read through it. From what I've read, and I've read a lot of it, it seems like a lot of the decision-making is put on Carrie. Sorry, Carrie, bring you up, but as the right-to-know officer for the school district. And some of those decisions are a make-or-break situation, like do we have the material that they want, or don't we have it? My problem is, I don't think Carrie, and this is not an offense to you, is skilled enough to know what we do and don't have.
That is offensive.
No, I'm not meaning it to be offensive, because I think Eric Naylor probably has some of the stuff that we would be looking for in any situation, stored, archived. I didn't mean that as an insult, I'm
No,
just,
I think you should trust me as the right to know officer to reach out to the appropriate contacts to gain that.
I'm right down the hallway.
okay.
Yes, like.
Well, no, I'm trying to, I'm not trying to offend you, Carrie. I'm actually, I didn't mean to come up with it. What I meant to say was, is I was I didn't want all the pressure on you to have to make that decision.
There's never any pressure. I trust the people that work within the district
Okay,
to help.
because you're signing the affidavits, and if there's somebody else, is what I'm trying to say, that has the stuff that you don't know, that's what I was trying to
We
say.
work very closely with
Okay.
whoever is necessary,
Okay.
with the right to know, and we go from there.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't you stuck your neck out for the affidavits. Okay.
Do you have any other questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Brian Lawyer is out sick. He asked me to pass along the fact that he is out sick. Brian Lawyer is now the president of the KOC for the tech prep program for the next year. Just in case you don't know, it's a revolving door. It was set when we started it 6-7 years ago. Everybody gets a chance at something, and it's just this big wheel that keeps moving. So he's in charge. He also wanted to recognize that we had multiple students at ACTI recognized last quarter. Their names were Dr. Nate Becker, that he's a rookie, Tanner Rock, Caitlin Collins, Kara Miller, and Mackenzie Hammer were all students of the quarter last month. So if you would recognize them at some point for us, and maybe next time we have some, I don't know that you know or not, whether you know or not, maybe have them come to our meetings so that we can recognize them. And that's about all I said. That it is for you.
Just a couple items from PSBA. Pennsylvania Secretary of Education, Dr. Doug Newman, resigned. His resignation was effective December 6th. Deputy Secretary Angela Fitterer will serve as the acting Secretary of Education until the governor appoints a replacement. I wish Brian was here, because this next part was good. Last week, the U.S. Department of Education called on every state, school, and district to adopt policies on cell phone use in schools. The department asks schools to have a well-thought-out policy on the matter, but does not dictate exactly what this policy should be. Another news for PSBA, the month of January is PSBA's School Director Recognition Month for PSBA and school districts. Recognize school board members across the Commonwealth for their service to their communities and to public education. And as the PSBA representative, I will be attending a PSBA liaison webinar on January 22nd. That's the end.
Thank you. All right. LIU, you all received a nice little note which went over all the nice board minutes, notes, consent agenda, the retirements, which there is 9 of, and there's only 5 coming in, so that's not a good thing. Like always, the treasurer's report, the on-hand cash that they have, let's see, $81,000. Like always, they're looking for bus drivers too. And that's about it for the LIU. You're right.
Well, in keeping with the spirit of brevity, I'll do the same. Just to share, it's been since about October 1st since I took over as superintendent. I've been holding meetings with various groups to try to find out what the grows and the glows are within the district, where are the strengths, what are the weaknesses. During this month, I'll be taking that data into account, trying to analyze and figure out what's moving forward so that as we move forward, we can designate committees and a number of folks that will be in certain areas working on those areas of for improvement. And I will share with the board in January the results and what's happening and what some of that analysis is, and what direction I think we need to be able to go with our committees. I would also like to say that, just a reminder to the board, we do have board training and support scheduled for January 8th, 2025, beginning at 4 o'clock. I am very excited. This is really an opportunity to focus on extending and enhancing our current training and experiences for our current board members. I would also like to thank a number of individuals on the administrative team that do an excellent job every day, work very hard, very knowledgeable in what they do. That includes all of my administrative cabinet, administrative council, and I want to just personally thank Mrs. Mummer for the work that she does every day in everything for me and for the office.
The FMX report is in the packet, monthly enrollment is in your packet as well. Is there any new business?
Hey, Carl, just bring up contractors versus the district bus drivers.
Yes.
Are we gonna address this in the near future? Because from what I was told, we're paying $310 a day for a contractor bus and driver, as opposed to $70 a day for a district driver. That's a big spread, and I understand we're short on drivers. That's gonna add a whole lot more expense to our budget. And I'm just wondering if we're trying to remedy that. I think Nick had said that we pay $50 less than other districts per hour, or per day. Is that what you?
The contractors.
Than the contractors?
Not on the district.
Okay.
The contract that we pay between $30 and $50 less than that.
I've been in contact with other superintendents in the district to see how they're remedying the solution, or trying to remedy a solution. We're not the only ones in the district.
Right.
It doesn't cross any boundaries. A lot of school districts have gone away from using in-house transportation, but then they're exactly like the bubble we're in. You're at the will of the bid, and usually each and every time when you go to it, the bid gets a little bit higher, and a little higher, and a little higher, and when you have no equipment, you're at their mercy, and you have to have somebody. So we're trying to figure something out. The biggest problem is, and my suggestion is that each one of you contact your state representative and say, why do everybody have to be in users? If you don't want to be in users,
That's a good point.
when you're at the age of retirement, you know, I can see somebody at 65 saying, yeah, I'm not eligible to collect it until I'm 75, and do we really want to, you know, do they want to stick around for 10 years to collect an additional couple dollars? I mean, and that's what the fee is, and that's one of the reasons that we're there.
So it's mandatory.
You must, pieces is mandatory, period. There is no discussion. So when you start, and it used to be, I thought 7 years. And then it's 10 now. So it used to be a little bit easier. Now, it used to be 5. It was easier to stomach, but now when you come on, and most of, I've yet to see very many in the state of Pennsylvania that are young. You sure don't see any 18, well, no, we have even 21, I think, are on the bus. Any 21-year-olds just dying to drive a school bus and have 50 of the closest friends behind you screaming in your ear and misbehaving. So,
You know, when I was on the board before, we had signs on the river trying to get so much, and nobody wanted to be hired as a bus driver. And that's why we had to go from you just can't, you just can't advertise something.
I mean, it's something that I've been in contact with several of the districts to find. Now, when I started this 11 years ago, I took a field trip to see whether it'd be financially worth it to go to the sub-out bus, you know, sell the buses and not having to do it, and it wasn't. It was in the school's best interest. Unfortunately, it's now tougher. These are going from 5 to 10 years to, you know, for some of these bus drivers to stick around when they can go 5 miles up the road and become a bus driver. Maybe the next contract we can make so that they have to use our equipment or whatever, and, you know, and time, I guess so.
Just also that not only like the retention aspect,